Good
morning.
morning. Oh, I'm on the other side now.
Oh,
Okay.
oh well.
Not that it matters. Jesus, a couple of heart attacks there before we came on this morning, but we're all good now.
Yep.
Technical difficulties,
No.
folks.
When do they not happen,
Oh my.
right? It's like every week there's technical
We
difficulties.
seem to
Like
be okay.
the people are probably looking at us saying like, "What? Get your act together, ladies! Like, what the heck? It's not working. Try to find another solution."
But it's the fact that sometimes we have problems with the program. But I have a warm coffee because I have my very own coffee warmer, like Julia got for Christmas.
Oh, yours
So
light
far,
up.
so
Mine doesn't have a light
oh,
around it. You got
oh,
a nice blue light around it.
look at mine. Mine's fancy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. Mine
But
doesn't light up.
and I think yours is brown here, where mine is black around the edge.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it has a light, but mine light doesn't light up. Oh well.
Oh, but it seems it's hot. It seems to be working. I may not be drinking cold coffee all day, so that's good.
There you go.
So we've been off for 2 weeks because somebody was laying on a beach. And how was
Actually,
the vacation?
actually, somebody was very sick, not only
I know.
lying on the beach. Oh my God, I got so sick. I've never been sick anywhere. I've been like to many, many places. I've eaten the food. I've like, you know, I don't know, man. Like I got some food poisoning or something, but it was really bad. The last 36 hours in bed, and yeah, it's a bummer because and you know what's funny is like usually I'm like I don't I don't splurge. Like I usually go to a 3 or 3.5 star. I don't, go for like the big high quality hotels. Well,
Mhm.
as you know, this was our 20th anniversary, so I went for like splurging and everything. So I took a 4.5 star hotel. And then
Okay.
what do you know? I get sick at a 4.5 star and never get sick at a three, you know?
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Well,
yeah.
well, you said you thought it was some seafood or something. So,
Yeah, I think it was a seafood. Like we went to eat
oh
at
my
a
God.
Mongolian restaurant that was on the resort, but still it was like a
Hmm.
card kind of thing. And the seafood was like they made you. It's funny because they made you hand sanitize before you went in because
Okay.
it's kind of like a bar where you grab whatever you want and you put it in and then they cook it in front of you.
Okay.
You walk in. So so I picked some seafood. I picked some mussels and some squid and some shrimp, and I think that was it. Like I think that's because they had been probably sitting there for a while,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that was no fun.
So, so where Secret Chick Julie is supposed to come back all rejuvenated and charged, she came back sick for
I'm
the
not even
entire week.
I'm not even 10.
I
Like
know.
I don't even have a 10. But yeah, like even all last week. So I got sick on the Friday. We came
Hmm.
back home on the Sunday. And even last week, like the whole week, I was still fighting it. Like at first it was like the whole shebang, I'll spare you the details. But then
Yeah,
it
yeah.
to a point where I was so dehydrated that my electrolytes were really off balance and I was cramping. Like I had cramps like I've never had in my entire life. Like I couldn't sit, I couldn't lie down, I couldn't like walk, I could every
Wow.
position was hurting. So I was trying to avoid going to the ER. Like it could have been replenishing my fluids with an IV would
Yeah,
have been super quick, but I was trying to avoid having to go to the ER and wait like 12 hours.
yeah.
So so I tried to do it like I've replenished my electrolytes, I've Pedialyte and you know
Hmm.
trying to
Wow.
bananas and all the stuff that have magnesium and so finally I got back on my feet, but it was Thursday by the time like I was starting to eat again like normally. It was Thursday,
Yeah.
so a whole week no eating really. So
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I've
yeah.
never had food poisoning, so I don't really know. But while you were on vacation, I joined Zumba. I
Yes,
don't know
you
if you did that.
did.
Oh my
Well,
God.
that's like a vacation.
It's awesome. I ended up going for the Bell Let's Talk Wednesday, so I covered it. And then this time I said, I'm going to take part in it too. I'll do my coverage. So I did took part a little bit. And I went back this past Wednesday and I'm going to commit to Wednesdays. I can't do Monday and Friday, Monday and Wednesday, but I'll do Wednesdays. Oh my God, Julia, it's awesome. Like you don't even feel like you're working. It's like
Yeah. Well, she's so fun. Crystal is like
it's
so energetic and
yeah, so Zumba with Crystal at Bridgewood, 6:30 to 7:30. She does Monday and I'm doing Wednesdays. But I don't know, it just flies by. You're having so much fun. You feel it at the end because you're tired. Like you know you've
I
worked.
bet.
That next day I felt my muscles, they were sore because there's no judgment. And like she says, there's no mistakes, just quite a few um, interesting solos, which I think I did quite a lot of them because when they were that way, I was that way. But again, nobody judges, and I really like it.
Hmm.
So it's all kinds of age groups. It's lots of fun. Hopefully, one day you'll
Maybe
come.
I'll accompany you.
We'll see. But I know before we bring our guests on, you know how I love thrifting.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a bit of thrifting. I got myself this satchel.
Ooh.
Full leather. My seekers fit in it perfectly because I have been looking for years for something that looked like my school bag, my satchel
That
in
is so
school.
cute, Mai-Liis.
It is complete leather. I came home, looked it up on the internet. It's about $125 worth. Guess
Where'd you
what I
get
paid
that?
for it? First, guess what I paid for it?
Well, it's thrifting. I'll say $5.
Two.
Wow.
I know, and I've been looking for years for
This
that.
is like a good old fashioned newspaper boy satchel, you know?
It is. I love it. I've wanted it. It's not quite what I had at school when I was in high school because we had satchels, but it's close enough. Everything fits. It's perfect.
Wow.
Then that is at the Pastel Boutique.
Where
That's
is that?
so that's in Alexandria. I had written down. So Pastel is at 256 Industrial Boulevard. Like you kind of go where the dome is, where the Tim Hortons dome is, and you follow that. So if you put it in your GPS, usually I don't really find anything, but this was
Mm-hmm.
one of those start the car moments.
Nice.
And then I went to my other favorite one right now is Opportunity Knox in Lancaster on 1 Mullen Street. The
Mm-hmm.
prices are amazing. For see what I
Oh,
got?
nice.
And not hardly worn, nothing. How much? This is my kind of
Mm,
hold on.
I'll say 6, 7.
6, 7,
Yeah.
3,
Wow.
$3.
Okay, so I gotta go shopping there because I find that
And
the prices have gone up so much in Cornwall.
yeah, but they haven't. Like I'm going to be writing an article about Opportunity Knocks. They keep their pricing really low. Shoes,
Mm-hmm.
women's clothes, everything's like $3. So then I went in the watch department and got this little
Oh.
watch. Totally me with the little, that. So I'm coming out thinking, first of all, I'm gonna have to go get a battery for it, right? Like you
Mm-hmm.
do. I look at it, it's running. It's
Okay.
working. So I'm going, that's kind of weird. And I'd gone back in. So I was talking to some of the ladies. I said, well, my watch is working. That's amazing. She goes, we put new watch batteries in all of them.
Oh, wow.
I know. How much did I pay for this?
5?
Two.
Wow.
With a brand new battery, Julia. I mean,
Okay, I gotta go shopping there. Like, you need to hook me up.
because like $10.
Yeah,
So
no.
I'm like, I was shocked. I was asking them, but they, logically, she says they don't want to put the prices up. They want to help as many people as they can.
Mm-hmm.
This way they have a bigger turnover. The stuff doesn't set.
Well, while we're on it, I'll show you my find at the Agape. It wasn't $3 or 5. It was a little more, but I just like I fell in love with it and I just like It's a ring.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
very big ring. Yeah, like
It is.
it's super big,
Oh,
but
it's
and
nice.
you can't really see it too bad,
Yeah,
but
probably
oh my
won't.
God, it's so lovely and it's real silver. It was
Oh,
$10.
wow.
Yeah, $10. So
No, I just love thrifting. I said I have to stay away from thrift stores because as it knows, I have a 680 square foot house with a full basement, which is
wow,
not a good
a
thing.
watch doesn't take any space.
I know. And how much space does this take? Like I could
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
I could
yeah.
not get it.
Well,
That's
good
just
for you. Okay, so it's 10:10. We better get to our guests.
yes, we had. So we're going to introduce our guest. So today we are very grateful to welcome two incredible women who are making a real difference in our community. And this was the January Seekers. So just to give you a little hint, we had the members of Sheila Talon and Associates on the cover, and we had an interview with them inside. So today we're very excited because we're joined by Sheila, founder and registered social worker of Sheila Talon and Associates. Welcome, Sheila.
Thank you. Thank you for having us today. I appreciate it. And I think, Julia, you might have been traumatized by that trip you just went on.
I was.
It
And
sounds like an awful time.
we also have Pauline Lariviere. She is a registered social service worker, a death doula, and certified in, I hope I'm saying this right, thanatology, specializing in death, dying, and bereavement. So together they support individuals and families through some of life's most difficult moments, offering guidance, care, and hope when it's needed most. And we're truly honored to have you both here today. So welcome, Pauline and
Thank
Sheila.
you.
And I think Julia's disappeared. I don't know where she's gone.
I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah, but we don't see you.
Okay, that's weird.
We had a few technical difficulties earlier, didn't we, ladies?
Okay, well, anyways, here I am. I'm gonna be talking, apparently.
So, so you guys, you were both on the cover, and we did the interview. But Sheila, tell us a little bit about yourself, your professional background and expertise.
So, I studied at McGill. I got a bachelor's and a master's degree in social work, and worked in uh, various settings. When I came to Cornwall initially after my bachelor's, I thought I was coming to Cornwall for, to work at the hospital for a few years, but I've made Cornwall my home. And 6 months in, I started doing some private work. And so over the course of my career, I've worked in hospitals, I've worked in community agencies, of course, the private practice, organizational environments, the justice sector. And with all of that, I've, kind of expanded the private practice to be much more inclusive. And we provide a wraparound service, which I'll get into. We support, so I've worked with children, with families, with couples, and in various employee assistance programs. And I've developed an expertise in trauma, PTSD, anxiety, depression, addiction, eating disorders,
Well,
workplace stress, lots of stuff. So my
yeah,
career is 30 years old. So there's been a lot of accumulative skills over the years.
I guess so. And Pauline, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm a registered social service worker. Um, I've been providing social service work for the past 23 years. Um, I I added some, you know, specialties that I have a very strong passion about. So I took the end of life doula training I completed the Children's Grief and Bereavement Certificate program. I completed a thanatology program. I completed a grief educator program. And then I moved forward and received certification as a grief educator and then as a certified thanatologist.
What exactly is a thanatologist?
So thanatology is the study of death, dying, and bereavement.
Okay.
So it's basically it's a scientific study though, so it dives into the medical aspects of dying, all of that, and a lot of statistics, and then goes into that bereavement piece. But thanatologists come from all walks of life. They could be doctors, nurses, but they provide support, counseling. Education is a key piece for thanatologists. So basically, wanting to increase what we call grief literacy. So using common language to help understand all the complexities of grief and bereavement.
Okay. Well, a lot of people know that my oldest son passed at the age of 33 from a massive heart attack 4 years ago. So before that, I don't know, I didn't really think of the subject of death really at all. So now it's kind of weird, but I'm more interested in all that because of him passing. So that's why I was really interested whenever you said you're a death doula. That's something that my daughter is looking into taking too. She took the social worker program at Cornwall, and she's looking at taking the death doula certificate. So I hope she's watching today because it's very interesting. So thank you, Pauline. Thank you, Sheila. So Sheila, what made you choose Cornwall?
Well, first it was when I graduated, I figured it was very close to where I lived in the West Island, and I thought that would be a good drive in the morning and at night. And it didn't take long for me to meet up with some social workers, and then I ended up moving in with one of the social workers who I'm still really good friends with today. And I just feel that when I came to Cornwall, part of it was getting involved in various boards and committees, and Cornwall really embraced me, and I developed some really good friendships. And I thought, I'm only an hour to Montreal, and if I have to go back on weekends, I can. But Cornwall is home for me and my husband and our 2 children. And I felt that Cornwall could offer what larger cities can't offer, which is the intimate closeness with various folks. And I just felt as a social worker, this was a better place to establish my roots in my career.
I see
I'm right there
Julia's
with
up
you.
there. Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I was in the West Island too, and I moved to Cornwall 20 years ago. And it was the best move I've ever made. Like, I do web design, and obviously we do the Seeker too, but my career is in web design and programming. And, in Montreal I was lost, and here I was found. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see you nodding
Yeah,
because
I could
you're
totally
gonna
get that.
say she likes Cornwall as well. So you came to the region, you opened your clinic, and what was the vision when you first started? Because you've got like 14 people on your team now.
So initially, when I first started back, I had been here, 29 years ago. I opened a practice, and it was called Specialized Counseling Services. And with the various work employments that I had to be very careful in terms of conflicts of interest. And so I was very, my niche was, I did a lot of work with eating disorders, a lot of work with child sexual abuse, historical abuse, and all of that. And then what ended up happening is when COVID hit, I just couldn't keep up with the number of referrals that were coming in. And so I rebranded the practice to Sheila Talon and Associates, and then I spoke to various professionals in the field, and my vision was to grow, keep our prices affordable for people, make sure that we could do the insurance for people who had insurance, and for those that didn't, that we would still be affordable. And to this very day, I think if you do a search, we're probably the most affordable private practice in the region. And what does that mean for me as a practitioner? It just means that the therapists are paid very comparable to what the other therapists are paid in other agencies, but it just means that I get less on my end, and I'm okay with that. Part of being a social worker is it's not about greed. It's about, and I'm not saying that they're greedy, but what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you need to do the right thing, and that's what my belief is. So then what ended up happening was there's a shortage of doctors in this community, and there was wait lists everywhere. And so then my vision grew. I just said, if we're going to see somebody and they don't have a doctor and they can't get prescriptions unless they go to the walk-in clinic, then I think what we need to do is we need to bring a nurse practitioner on. So I interviewed lots of nurse practitioners, and we brought one on. His name is Francois. He's bilingual. He's amazing. And then there was wait lists for assessments to be done. And so we brought on a psychologist. This is a person that I've known for many years and does some great work. And so we really are a wraparound service for the clients that come into our program.
Wraparound, because that's what you mean by many different people in many different ways. Okay. Because you had mentioned wraparound at the beginning. I wasn't sure what that meant.
Well, so when the therapist or the counselor is dealing with the mental health part, there's the medication, perhaps there's the blood pressure, there's the X-rays, there's all of that stuff that our nurse practitioner can take care of, and so we work together for the better of the client.
So basically, you offer many, many different services all in one spot.
That's right.
Wow. So where do you serve? Like, where are you located? And how do people find you? What kind of people do you help?
So we basically have two locations now. We have one that's located at 4 Montreal Road, and that's Suite 202. And so there's stairs, and then there's an elevator for people who have mobility issues. And then we have another office here that's located in Cornwall in a private area for people who are not comfortable going into an office setting, who prefer to be coming to a more intimate type of office. And so that office is the address is given when the client is coming in for an appointment. We are looking at expanding, and I'm not going to share too much about that, but we have our eyes on another site, and I'm hoping to bring some news to that maybe closer to the spring, summer.
Wow. And of course,
Whoops.
go ahead.
Can I do a sidebar? I have a question for Pauline. I know we're talking about the clinic and everything, but I'm really curious about debt doulas and how you decided to become a debt doula. Was there something in your personal life that stirred you that way, or is it just that you have compassion for grieving people? Like how did you decide to make that a life choice?
That's a really good question, Julia. I think it's a combination of factors. I think it is my compassion to help in this area of grief and loss. Personally, I have experienced several losses, but through my work, I saw the need I saw that there, you know, individuals that I was meeting with, just the grief was very present, but not acknowledged or not understood. And that really, I believe, drove me
Mm-hmm.
to further, my knowledge in supporting people who are grieving.
And do you see more of like My-Liis was talking about her son, and I had a similar situation when I was a teenager. I lost my brother suddenly, dramatically as well. Do you see more of like the dramatic or unpredicted death grieving, or like all around just death all around? Like, is it more because it's hard to, you're not supposed to lose your son. You're not supposed to lose a 29-year-old. So do you feel like it's more present, or is it everywhere? Like, is it just anybody that consults with you?
Thanks for asking that question as well. I think that because grief it is expanding, thankfully, but it's kind of been a taboo subject.
Mm-hmm.
So people didn't feel comfortable in talking about grief or sharing. The fear of being judged, and how they were moving forward with their grief, or just what they were feeling and not knowing what's normal. Uh, you
Mhm.
know, I think that now that, the more talk we can have about grief, the more we can normalize and and really acknowledge the impact that grief has on
Mm-hmm.
an individual, family. The importance is the acknowledgement. When I was doing my training with David Kessler, he has the 6 needs of the grieving, and the first need of the griever is for the pain to be witnessed, for the grief to be witnessed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's my
So
sidebar.
I was,
Thank you.
if you have any
you're welcome.
sidebars, jump in anytime. But my question, like regarding Beth doula, like I had said, I'm kind of not obsessed, but I'm more really, it took more of an interest 4 years ago whenever Christian passed. So death doula, do you only deal with the grieving, or do you deal with somebody who's dying or a family member who's dying? Do you help people through that stage as well? Because that's what I
Yeah,
thought you did
so
as
so
well.
death doula or end of life doula, they
Okay.
support the person who is dying, and
Hmm.
families, if that's what's wanted or needed.
Okay.
It's very individual. It really depends. An end of life doula can be contacted by the individual who is dying and wants
Hmm.
different types of support through that
Hmm.
process. Um, and then the families of person can also access support from the life doula.
Yeah, I hate to keep
And the
asking those
supports
questions, but
vary.
yeah, exactly. Because where my son died suddenly, there was no warning. He was here one day, gone the next. My father passed, but he had cancer. So it's a different type. Like, it's not like you can ever get used to the person passing, but you have more time to say goodbye. So there's different types of dying for
Not
sure.
to mention, you're expecting to lose a parent. You're not
Yeah.
expecting to lose a child
Exactly. Or a
Yes.
sibling. Like
or
you
a
don't
sibling.
expect
Yeah.
to use a sibling either. And there's a lot of that. It seems there's a lot of people losing siblings lately too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the questions are very good, and there's so much more that's involved in
Mm,
answering those questions, because they really are good questions. You're right. The an individual's grief will be impacted, okay, by death. So whether it was sudden,
mhm,
you know, the person, who that person was to them. Was it a parent? Was it a child? Was it an
mhm,
adult child? Was it a sibling? So the grief will vary. The impact of the grief for that individual will vary depending on several factors. So cause of death, relationship to the person, and several other factors.
And then, like I say, everybody, I'm sorry, Sheila, I seem to be asking Pauline all the questions, but we seem to be on that subject right now. So grieving is different too for everybody. So there's no one way of grieving. So you must have people that think they're grieving the wrong way because they're not grieving like somebody else. How does that work?
Yes. Thank you for asking. And that comes up a lot. And when people are thinking that they're not grieving the right way, that can actually impact their grief in a more negative way. So it really is important to know that we're all individual and we will grieve individually in our own unique way. There is no right or wrong way to grieve, but there are healthy and unhealthy ways.
Okay.
Okay, but there's no right or wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
How we grieve will depend, again, several factors: who we are as a person, our personality, how grief was modeled as we were growing up, our religious or spiritual beliefs, our cultural beliefs. Grief, and that's the thing about grief, it's very complicated. It's several factors that will contribute. And then there's different types of grievers. There's there's intuitive grievers. Intuitive grievers are the feeling grievers, the ones who express through emotion. Okay. There's intuitive grievers, there's intellectual grievers. Intellectual grievers are more action based. So they may not be the ones who are seeing as much emotion, but they're more action oriented.
Okay.
So if they're not crying as much, doesn't mean that they're not grieving.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Pauline, for that information. So, Sheila, we know you have a lot of different services that you offer, but what do you think makes you stand out? What kind of services make you stand out?
I feel like there's a couple of things. One is our approach is really personable, it's relatable, and it's down to earth. We are client centered, so we go with where the client is at. All intakes go through me, and so I take that time to spend a little bit of getting to know the client over the phone, and then after I've spoken with them, I can see from my associates who would be a better match for them. And so then, they're just not matched up with the next therapist. They're matched up with the person who I feel they will grow with. And then I reach out to the counselor or the therapist, and then I match them up. And then I always do a follow-up phone call 2 weeks or 2 sessions after they're in to see if it's a good match. And so I think that's really important. There's that specialized feeling, that making them feel like they're important when they speak. They're speaking to me. And sometimes, there might not be somebody on our team that would be the best fit for them. So this is why it's really important to partner up with our other counseling agencies in the community who sometimes would refer to me or I refer to them. So we're really, really, it's very tailored to each person's goals and their needs. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and you have a couple of interesting therapies. That one of them is called Rage, I believe. What exactly is that?
So the RAGE program, so after working, like I say, 24 years in the justice system and being involved with the community, I just felt that there was a lot of people who had a lot of unresolved trauma. And I think what RAGE stands for is redefining grief, anger, and emotions. And what it does is, it's, if you think about a layered cake, Mai-Liis, it's kind of like there's childhood trauma, there's adolescent trauma, there's early adulthood trauma, there's trauma in each one of us. And how we choose to work out our trauma is very telling. And so RAGE is a program that is developed to unpack that trauma. And so they are able to regulate their emotions better, and they learn new skills to be able to continue in life without hurting other people, without bullying other people, without hurting themselves. And RAGE is good for the age of 10 and up. And so we've had children as young as 10 come and do the program. The curriculum is different for each age group. We've had people who are before the justice system who have been told to work on their anger. We have people who are on probation who have been told to work on their anger. And so this is what RAGE is about. You can do it without being before the court, or you can do it as a person who just feels there's a lot of stuff they need to work through.
Yeah, they have issues but they don't know what's underlying and what's causing it. So that's kind of what it unravels. Interesting.
Yeah.
So another one that I noticed that you offer is equine therapy. I hope I'm saying it right.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So equine therapy, also called equine assisted therapy or equine assisted psychotherapy, is given by Sharon Hamill. Sharon is a social worker. She has horses, and she's really well set up where she is. And basically, its clients interact with the horses. They don't ride the horses, but it's an opportunity for them to build emotional regulation, confidence and self-esteem, trust and boundaries, and being mindful and present. Horses are very intuitive. And so what Sharon does is she works with the client one-on-one and really works through whatever trauma or emotions that they're needing to work through. And she has, I think her youngest client that we've referred to her right now is 7. And so equine therapy is not traditional. It's not where we sit down and we do that in the office. It's out at the stable with the horses. And so it's different, but it's very, very impactful. And we will be doing a video of some work that's being done out at the stable sometime in the spring.
Nice.
Interesting. So what other kind of therapies that do you offer that are not quite traditional? Because when I think of, psychotherapy, I just kind of think of somebody sitting in a room and the counselor asking them questions, but there's so many different ways of doing this. What other ways are there that you offer that might be different?
Another one which is my favorite, and I've yet to, I have one that's in the midst of where I'm training her, but it's called, I use Erik Erikson's developmental stages of life. And so when people come and they just, they're redoing the same patterns, like attachment, maybe making relationships, they're not working, they have, whatever the issue is, we unpack that. We go as far back as the person can remember in a conscious state, and we work through the developmental stages to see where the onset of the problem is, and then we work through it. So that's for somebody who really wants to unpack Pandora's box and really deal with a lot of the underlying trauma. So I often have people who have had gastric bypasses come in for this type of therapy. They have the gastric bypass, but the weight still seems to come on. Well, you can do the medical intervention, but until you really hone in and unpack what's causing you to go to that food, it's not going to work. You need to release all of that's inside of you. So I have people that come just for that. And and that's not a therapy for everybody, because it's a very painful process to unpack all of that. But we do it
Can I
gently.
can
Go
I
ahead.
say something about that though?
Sure.
Because I was a person who looked at therapy before, and I was like, yeah, it's just nah. And I got to a point in my life where I'm like, okay, I got to talk to somebody, and I did, and we did the unpacking that you are talking about, and it is so liberating, and it is so there's so much revelation in it, and you can get, like, you can actually get yourself off the hook, because you realize that, oh my God, this stuff happened to me, you know and anyways, it's liberating. It unblocks something, and it can move you forward in life. So yes, it's painful when you're doing it, but I find it so necessary. I think everybody should go to therapy.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that feedback. Walking the walk is important, and talking the talk is important. So thank you for that, Julia.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes you have something there, but you just don't know what it is, and it could be something in your background, like you say, and you just don't think about it until you do that kind of therapy.
I had so many aha moments in
Well,
that little time that I was in therapy. It was yeah, it was really life changing.
Yeah, for sure.
so is there any other therapies that you want to discuss or that you
So,
offer?
well, we offer a gamut, right? I mean, we have,
Mhm.
if you were to come into the office, we have a huge a puppet tree, and there's all kinds of puppets in there. So depending on the age, Pauline is really good with children. We have lots of therapists who, um, we do EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing therapy. We do CBT, which is cognitive behavior therapy, which is we use that with clients who sometimes have OCD.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of work that we do. We also, I just want to say that all our social workers, our psychotherapists, and team are all have sensitivity training to working with our First Nations. And we are committed to doing whatever training we need to do to, it's ongoing training to make sure that we are respectful of their needs and of the work that, goes behind that. And that's part of my commitment to truth and reconciliation, is anybody that comes onto my team has to be trained and able to work with
First Nations.
and be respectful of it, not just
Yeah.
work, but be respectful of their needs.
Mm-hmm.
So we also, I just want to kind of say that we do support students who are doing their social work practicums and psychotherapy practicums. We have one student that's going to be starting, and with the students that come into our practice, then we can offer often very reduced rates, and we often, because they don't have the full qualifications, but I will be mentoring them as well as other therapists on the team. So there'll be more information shared about that. We do have our services are covered by health claim for auto insurance, so HCI. So anybody that has insurance, automobile insurance, and is involved in a collision or is injured, their insurance will cover our fees. We're also covered through the non-insured health benefits, which is anybody that is First Nation and has status cards. We do work a lot with veterans, which is a really enriching experience for members of our team. We do support a lot of our community. We give back to our community, and And yeah, so I don't know if you have other questions for us, but I can tell you where to contact us.
That would be great. That would be
Uh,
good.
Okay, so our email is info@Sheila, SHEILA, Talon, TALLON, Associates, ASSOCIATES.com. Phone number is 613-930-6007. And our website is SheilaTalon.com. The newest position that we have to our practice right now is it's just been it's going to be starting this month. Her name is Sharon Duffy. Sharon Duffy is has just left her position at the hospital, and she is going to be our community liaison. And so, what does that entail? It means she'll be working really closely with various partners in our community and establishing new ones. And she's also going to be the go-between people who are on our caseload who need advocacy in the community, whether it's with the disability forms, whether it's going to the for a first appointment to the nurse practitioner. She's going to be the soft person behind making these connections, and that is what we feel has been lacking for our practice.
And I know Sharon, she's going to be awesome at that job.
I was like, why do I know that name?
Sharon Duffy. Well, she was the one that introduced me to Sheila.
Okay.
And whenever Christian was in Cornwall, she was the one that I talked to as well at times.
Okay.
So no, she's really, really the perfect person for that job, I think.
Thank you. We do have some groups. We have one, it's called Rebuilding When Your Relationship Ends, and that is for people who have ended a relationship, an intimate relationship, and want to work through that. Pauline has done 2 groups, Lost to Suicide, which is a very small group for people who have lost loved ones to suicide. We've also had one where it's called Parental Alienation, and that is where there's been people have alienated a significant parent towards the children, and so understanding that and supporting that parent through parental alienation. We also have the RAGE program, if somebody wants to do that through a group. However, I would say most of the people who do the RAGE want to do it one-on-one, and they really want to take that time to unpack. So those are, Pauline, am I forgetting any groups?
Not that I can think of at the moment, no.
Okay.
Lost to Suicide, Parental Alienation, and the RAGE. Yeah.
Rebuilding, yeah. And Rebuilding, yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, that's amazing, because I had no idea that you offered so many services and can help so many people. A quick question though, with the homeless situation in Cornwall, do you deal with any of the people, I don't even know, in the tents or in who have been placed in Parisian Manor? Do you go out to talk to anybody or?
No, we don't support that way, Mai-Liis. But what we do support is we do support our local food bank.
Okay.
We just did a breakfast just recently in January. So our practice sponsored a breakfast.
Okay.
And so when I can see that we'll be doing that again.
Awesome. Awesome. And how do you determine if somebody should see you in person or virtually? I mean, obviously, if they're at a far distance, it's going to be virtual, but is there other cases that you determine? Like, both of you can probably answer that one.
Well, if somebody seems to have anxiety leaving the home, we will provide virtual sessions with the hope that they'll meet in person at some point with a support person coming with them. If we have a parent, for example, who's a single parent and wants to do her sessions in the evening after the children have gone to bed. Children, we're affiliated, we have kids who we've seen through the Kingston General, who has the outpatient eating disorders program. So I have somebody right now that I'm supporting because she lives in Kingston. So
Yeah.
we do, so we start where the client is at. If that,
Okay.
yeah.
That's great.
We walk beside them. We don't walk in front of them.
No, that's great.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. If somebody's listening today and is struggling and unsure about reaching out, what would each of you want them to know about taking the first step?
Pauline, I'll leave you to answer that first.
Sometimes the first step can seem like the hardest, but after they've taken that first step, and then that realization comes in that they are capable, they're able to ask for support, they're able to acknowledge, you know what, it's perfectly okay. We're humans, and
Yeah.
we're here to support and guide and help one another. And there's no shame in that at all, right? That first step is the hardest, but once you get over that, it's like, I can do this. And I know that I have support now. I know that I'm going to be guided now. And I think I think after that first step, it's such a relief for the individual,
And I would just say that they're not alone. We're here. And I think Pauline said, first thing is acknowledging. So we acknowledge that this is hard, but when you call, it'll be me that they'll be speaking to on the other phone, on the other line. If they decide to email, it'll be me that will be following up with a phone call. And I can say that with great confidence that when I make a referral to one of my therapists, I would say within the 24-hour span the referral is made, there's a call that's made.
Wow.
There's no wait list. We have no wait list, and
well, that's pretty fantastic because
we have no wait list, and we're bilingual. And so this is where the other thing, I'll be answering all the phone calls, but if Sharon has to be the one that makes the call, a few hours later or the next day because Pauline isn't available till 6:00, but Sharon or I can call to follow up to provide them that support. That's what it's all about. It's about helping people when they reach out for help.
Exactly. Not waiting 6 months, because by that time they'll have changed their mind. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Well, thank you so much. Julia, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good. Like, that was pretty thorough.
Yeah, that's amazing. You gave us so much information that we wouldn't have even known or thought about. So thank you, both of you, for coming on.
Thank you for having us, and thank you, Pauline, for joining me this morning. I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here and just have this conversation.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm going back to therapy, apparently.
Well, I don't know. When I think of therapy, I just think of a counselor, but there's so much that they discuss, like so many different titles and forms, and you don't think of half of that,
Yeah.
And the other thing, did you know today is Groundhog Day?
No, I did not. I didn't realize.
I didn't
I know that's February 2nd usually
February
is, but I
2nd.
didn't think of that.
Because Sheldon said, you should discuss that on the show. Apparently at 8:00, 3 groundhogs, I had written it down. So according to folklore, if the groundhog emerges from its burrow and sees its shadow, winter will last another 6 months. And if it doesn't see its shadow, it's going to be an early spring. So from what I saw at 8:00 this morning, 3 groundhogs had not seen their shadow. And then they're still waiting. At least I think that's the way it went. I wrote some notes really fast because I didn't even realize It was Groundhog Day. Yeah. 3 of them did not see. So supposedly it's an early spring. And they were at 8 o'clock waiting for the other 3. They could have seen the show by now, but I don't know. And
Hopefully we have a
early
early spring.
spring. And I,
Incidentally, you know, it's funny because I had posted something about my trip to the Dominican, and that post got so much activity on it, and so many people, like I think 300 people commented and shit. And I
what?
didn't even say so much that, like, it wasn't even bad. I was just saying, hey, I went to Punta Cana. This was not my favorite place. I preferred like some place that's not so Americanized. And
Hmm.
so it wasn't like I wasn't even bashing the damn thing, but I got so much hate. I even got like a few ladies that texted me, uh, private messaged me and say, "You bitch, if you don't want to go to freaking Dominican Republic, just don't go. You're so ungrateful." Anyways, it was traumatic. I need therapy just for that.
I was gonna
but
say,
um, but they were like, some people were saying, oh, it could be worse. You could have been 8 weeks. You could have been here in minus 40 and 8 feet of snow. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry, but I would have rather have the snow than this disease, than this illness that I got.
yeah.
That was like really bad.
So
Anyway,
yeah, you're traumatized by that. I think you should make a call to
an appointment.
an
Yeah.
appointment. But on the whole, Facebook is terrible. Like
No
just going
kidding.
on it, you got to watch what you say, how you say it. It's very, very, to me, very toxic
Like,
because
no, but I mean, imagine
wow,
bashing somebody and just because
their
they
opinion.
share an opinion that, and it's not even that. It's I even said in the post, I'm like, it was still nice and I had a good time, but I prefer this other place or that other place to
Yeah,
this. Anyways, it was
it,
just like,
it was just
all
your
right.
opinion. But
Mm,
yeah, that's amazing how many comments you got. Oh my,
yeah, yeah, it went viral. I'm like, okay, crazy.
wow. So a couple of quick events. We have a few minutes. So Film
Hmm.
Fridays are back at the Klein House Gallery in February, free to attend. So you have to email or to reserve your seat. So you can call 613-932-1823. Go check out the Klein House on Facebook. And of course, they have their annual jury show up on the walls right now, which is there till February the 28th. It's an amazing show. We have Cornwall CCVS grade 7 and 9 open house tomorrow, 5 to 7. Wednesday, we have a technology and T digital workshop for seniors, which is actually quite
Oh, nice.
interesting. Yeah, it's give the gift of digital confidence. Enroll your loved one in our 12-week tech workshop with this easy to digest 1 hour modules. I like that. So space is limited. Call to register 613-363-6622. And Friday, we have the CCVS Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser. All proceeds go to the Raider Ruckus trip. You can go check on our website, which Julia has redesigned. It is absolutely amazing, very easy to navigate, which I like because I'm one of those people, if I can't find it right away, I leave the site. It's super
Hmm.
easy, looks amazing. Thank you, Julia.
You're welcome.
I know you
And
worked
yeah, I'm
hard on it.
really happy with it. It looks really good. It's nice and structured and
Yeah,
easy, like easy to find the information that you're looking for.
yeah, and especially the events. If you go on the events menu, you can find all the information for all the events going on.
Hmm.
If you want to add your event to it, just go on our Facebook group and share your event page to that, and it gets picked up automatically by our online calendar, and then it gets put in print if it's in there by the 20th of the month. So everything is working so smoothly.
I
It's awesome.
know. All right. And look for the new seeker that's going to be distributed tomorrow and available for pickup. Yep, that's our February issue. Just get your hands on one of them.
If you and actually, if you can't find it, you can always check our red distribution box at the office because we try to keep that full as long as we can, because then we know what's there. And of course, if you cannot find your hard copy, you can always go on the Seeker.ca and read the current issue for free.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't, from my travels, they still don't realize that they can go read us online, and it's free to read online. So just check that out as well.
Yeah, there's a PDF of the issue, so you can just open it and read the issue just as if you had it in your hands.
And it's very easy to find. You just go on our website. It's right there in the right-hand corner.
Yeah.
In a
All right,
coffee
guys.
magazine.
Have yourself a fantastic day.
And a super duper week. See you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye.